Hi friends, in this section we're going to discuss one important question a lot of candidates ask me. That is, how much should I ask as a salary for a position? It depends on your technology and it depends on the industry you're working and it depends on your experience. A lot of parameters are playing a vital role in this. It is important to note that one important factor that influences the amount of salary you're going to ask is the location where you're going to work. So if you're working from remote, it might be varying a lot because your cost of living is different if you're fully remotely working for full time. But when you're on site and you're living in the same city where your job is, or you're looking for a nearby location to stay close to your job, then obviously this is going to differ. So here, remember that there are certain locations in Germany are quite expensive, and when you're getting a job offer from that particular location or from these locations, remember to ask extra salary because your savings are going to be very important. And if you miss that opportunity to ask something extra because of the cost of living in that particular city, then obviously it is going to hit on your savings and you might be disappointed in a later point of time. So for that, I'm going to give you a simple resource to validate and verify what is the cost of living of a particular city. I will also discuss about some intricacies here. So let us switch to a simple website. I have this numbeo.com. I just googled the cost of living in German and you will get this kind of website. So when you click on it, you can select a particular city and you will get some information. But remember, this website is actually getting the information from the people who are living in that city or some kind of other information sources. But here it is giving a simple idea about how much transportation is going to cost, how much electricity is going to cost you, child care is going to cost you, all that. But the important factor here is the rent per month. This is the major part that you're going to give away from your salary. And in this case, you have to be very careful in terms of how many kids you have. If you have 2 kids, obviously you're looking for 2 or 3 bedroom flat, and if you're a single or if you're just married person, then obviously you're looking for 1 bedroom flat. And based on that, you validate the rent of that city where you're living. But it might not be accurate. Also, the rents vary from the area where you're living in that particular city, but at least it gives you a kind of range what is the cost of living in that particular city. So this is very important information to have in hand. But there is another important thing that you need to look at. So what you see here is the map of Germany with some important cities here, and you can see the more heat map and the dot is red, the more is the cost of living there. So you can see the Munich is coming here into red spot. Darmstadt is something very close to Frankfurt is also coming red, and you can see here Berlin once was a kind of cheaper living city, but now it has become a startup hub and it has become much more expensive than ever. Hamburg, then you have here Bremen is close, then you have Hanover and NRV, North Rhine-Westphalia. These are the cities. This is the place where highly dense population is living in Germany, and this is where NRV, we call the state as North Rhine-Westphalia. You have Bonn, Cologne, Düsseldorf, all those cities close by. The cost of living is a bit expensive because they are major cities here, and you will also see a lot of companies there. And remember that it is very important, if you find a job here and if you want to reduce your cost of living, then choose a place where it is at least 10 to 15 kilometers away from a normal medium town, so that you can save a little bit. But I cannot guarantee anything, but it is up to you to plan. That's why you need to have a good network in the city where you're going to live. So it is important to be involved in some kind of Facebook groups or some kind of WhatsApp groups for that particular city to have a network and have a good understanding which location is safe to live, which location is going to be cost effective location, and it is also should be close to some kind of commuting bus facilities or some kind of local trams are available, all that. So remember, when you're actually looking out for discussions with some employer, always look at this kind of have an understanding and then make up your mind how much is the salary they are going to offer. But don't fall to prey for the salaries they advertise on the job. Some people put like 120,000 or 100,000 for a software developer with 2 years or 3 years experience. Don't fall for them. They're just trying to attract talent with that number, but they might not be offering so much. So just go by yourself, do some groundwork by yourself, and have a kind of rational thinking and understand what is the right salary. Do some research online, how much they're paying. Maybe some websites like Glassdoor or Stepstone or LinkedIn are offering this kind of stats. How much is the range of salary they might be paying in that particular city for that particular job offer? So do some groundwork before asking for a salary. Don't ask too much, which can get you a rejection, or don't ask too less. I have seen good employers who have actually come up with a reasonable salary offer, because during the initial days when I didn't have any information something like this, the employer himself, the manager himself would tell, okay, this is the offer that we are giving which is reasonable, and these are the living expenses, and they have took some extra time to explain me why this offer is reasonable and why the salary in this particular city is less than the bigger cities and all those things. Then I understood, okay, it depends on the cost of living and the location where you are living, and also it is important to note that the rentals and the location and the education facilities that are there in that city, all those things matter. So have a good understanding, do some good research in the background, and then make up your mind to ask for a particular salary range, and then go for your employer and be open for discussion with them. So because they know the location, they know the city well, they will be very open, because this is going to be a long term relationship they are looking at. So you can also ask them in turn to suggest what is the right salary range. If they think that what you're asking is too much, then ask why do they think so, because this is not going to spoil anything. It is going to help you as well. So it is not just salary. There are some companies which also offer other benefits which are going to be really helpful. Something like some companies offer you a car and also the full fuel for that car. So these kind of other benefits that are available from the company. So always look at the full picture and then go for the negotiation part. So this is very important. So go through this kind of site and have a kind of groundwork for yourself, and make a list of bigger cities, so that whenever you're getting some kind of offer from those kind of cities, you're aware that the cost of living is a bit higher than the other second level cities, and you can be a bit careful in terms of having good savings around. Thank you.